You know what this is? This cracked coffee mug is the reason why your best people quit. Not salary, not workload. This crack. Just like this mug, our workplaces don't collapse in loud crash. They break silently, chip by chip. And you know what's the most scary part? Most of us don't even notice the first chip. So, what is this invisible force that keeps cracking silently until our best people finally walk away? If it's not money, if it's not workload, what is it? It's culture. People don't quit jobs. People quit cultures that don't let them belong. You know, we often perceive the word culture like it's a wallpaper. Nice to have, looks good in photos. But here's my take: culture is not just what's written on walls, it's something that people carry in their nervous system. It's seen in the pause that people take before speaking in the meetings, in the deleted emails, in the smiles that couldn't reach the eyes of the other person during Teams call. And you know what the paradox is that no one talks about is? People do not burn out from too much of work. People burn out from too little meaning. And I'm not just saying it, data proves it. Look at this. Gallup's research says that people who feel recognized in the organization are 45% less likely to leave the organization in next 2 years. And the ones who get meaningful feedback are 5 times more engaged. And the ones who are encouraged to grow are half the times less likely to job hunt elsewhere. Did you notice none of these stats talk about how much work they are doing? It's just about how the people feel seen, valued, and heard. The truth is, lack of belonging and recognition mattered more than workload. It's the reason that people stay, the heartbeat of culture, the fuel for growth and innovation. You know what happens when people are not happy at work? They don't leave it there. They take it back home. And at home, they feel irritated, disconnected, restless. And the next morning, when they come back at work, they bring the entire unhappiness back then. What happens? It becomes a cycle, a ripple effect. Work suffers, relationship suffers, and somewhere in between, life itself stops feeling happy. Because when you carry self doubt instead of self worth, when you take back home silence instead of recognition, it's not that just hurts productivity. Because what you call as productivity loss in corporate terms is actually the life loss in human terms. Therefore, I believe it so deeply that workplace shouldn't be a reason for people to lose themselves. Rather, it should be a place where you discover your best self and carry your happiest version back home. So, after everything that I have discussed, I want you to pause and think. Do you still believe that workplace culture is something that how people behave with each other at work? Or is it something how people feel about themselves when they get back home? You know, those old formulas, the free pizzas, bean bag, fat paychecks, do not keep talent anymore. None of them works because great talent has choices. They are leaving faster than ever when culture fails them. The great resignation, quiet quitting, burnout, these aren't HR buzzwords anymore. In fact, if you see, McKinsey's 2022 survey, called as the Great Attrition is Making Hiring Harder, states that the uncaring and uninspiring leaders are a big part of people leaving the organization, apart from lack of career development. These are alarms. Alarms that culture is no more a soft thing. It's become a survival strategy. And for today and for the future of work, culture is the strongest currency. In fact, Deloitte's 2023 survey, called as the Global Human Capital Trends Survey, states that the biggest barrier in achieving sustainable objectives is organization culture, which means less than 30% of the people feel empowered to take ownership of companies' impact. That's why I keep reiterating that culture does not collapse overnight. It leaks. One joke that crosses the line. One manager who says that's not how we do things here. One team meeting when no one dares to speak. And therefore, I have deliberately designed the word leak, wherein leak stands for L, leaders lose credibility. E, employees lose motivation. A, apathy spreads. K, knowledge walks out of the door. That's leak for you. And if you don't fix the leak, you don't just lose people. You lose trust. You lose your brand. You lose years of human dreams. And to be honest, I did not set out to fix workplace culture. I stumbled into it. In my years of corporate experience, I saw brilliant people fade away. Not because they lacked talent, because there were a lot of things that was not recognized. And I was one of those persons too. It was not those deadlines that broke me. It was those 1,000 small signals that drained me. The silence after an idea, that credit that skipped my name, the laughter that did not include me. And it was the time that hit me that culture is not just that's printed on a calendar or a pay slip. Let's talk about our favorite blame game, Gen Zs. You heard it, right? They are difficult, they don't listen, they don't hear. But here's the other edge of this word. They come in confidently, sometimes too confidently. They openly talk about their struggle, mental health, need for balance. And trust me, sometimes these are the things that we all secretly admire, but we don't admit. In fact, their confidence is basically a reminder that culture is not just about managing them, it's also about learning from them. Culture is a thing that we rarely measure, but it makes those moments unforgettable. We often notice in companies we measure everything from revenue to profit to productivity to how many seconds it takes you to log into the system. But what we rarely measure is the feeling inside the room, the heartbeat of the culture. What if the companies made culture as measurable as revenue? Not with those stiff HR forms, but with simple human survey which asks questions like, do you feel seen here? Do you feel safe to speak? Do you feel you're encouraged to grow here? And once you have those answers, don't just file them away. Act upon them. Turn insights into changes people can feel. Because this is the future. Companies that listen to the people, that can truly listen to the people, will never run out of talent, trust, and innovation. And don't just stop here. Because culture is not meant for people inside the four walls of the company. It's something that needs to be taken out there. Why? Because employees are not just looking for jobs. They want home for their ambitions. Clients are not just looking for services. They want partner that they can trust on. And trust, my friends, is not just built through presentations. It's built through culture. What if your culture becomes your calling card for tomorrow? Your own people become your brand ambassador. What if the stories that your employee tell about working with you is the same that your clients say about partnering with you? Friends, this is not an HR talk. This is a true measure of success. And that, my friends, is the next frontier of work. Think how you can take this to the world so that the whole world can celebrate you. Just like this mug did not collapse overnight. But when you saw the first crack and tried to repair it immediately, It can last for lifetime. Workplace culture is the same. If I may ask you one question, will you wait until it's shattered completely? Or will you notice the first crack and start fixing it today? If I may ask you one thing that you should take from here today is let it be. Workplace is not just a place where you go to earn your money. It's a place where you build your brand, your recognition. It's a place where you spend majority of your waking life. It's a place where your dreams either grow or die. Let's build workplaces, a place where people do not just survive Mondays, but thrive, grow, and bring back happiness at home. Because when we fix culture, we don't just save people, we save lives, we save dreams, we save humans. Thank you.